Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with the January transfer move to Arsenal. Oh, it was a horrible night last night. Horrible. You know what, right? What time is it now? It's 9:22 is the actual time when I'm doing this video. And I've already had Man United fans on the phone, two of them giving me stick. I'll tell you, it's unbearable when you lose to these lot. It's nearly as bad as losing to Tottenham. It really is. And it was not a great performance by Arsenal. And you have to be humble in defeat, and you have to admit that Manchester United were the better team. They looked sharper. They had a lot of qualities. Alexis Sanchez come back and scored against us, as we knew he probably would. And they deserved the win. And we've got to take it on the chin. Listen, we've got to take it on the chin. And I still think we have to be patient with our manager, Unai Emery. You know, you looked at the difference in squads yesterday, the amount of investment that's gone into Manchester United. Look how they were able to bring Martial and Rashford off the bench. On our bench, we didn't even have a striking option that we could call upon if it weren't working for us. With Danny Welbeck, of course, being out for the whole of the season. We had no real defensive options we could call on. We brought on Mustafi, but then after that, there's no other centre-back on that bench that we could bring on to cover the injuries. So we're down to the threadbares at the moment. We really are down to the threadbares. And as I said, you know, injuries in the game to Laurent Koscielny, that looked a bad one. It's an accidental injury with Lukaku. They had a coming together. But it doesn't look good, that injury. And afterwards, you know, Unai Emery talking about the injury, he said, I think they weren't big injuries for Socrates. Maybe for Laurent Koscielny, he's going to hospital to analyse what the injury he has. Maybe he's broken his cheek or jaw, but I hope not. Now, if he has done that, look for him to be out for quite a long time. There was a couple of people who were talking to me yesterday going, oh yeah, but you can put a mask on. I'm like, listen, you broke your jaw. That is painful. Koscielny's going to be out for a while. I feel so sorry for Laurent Koscielny, you know that. You know, I know a lot of people have been giving him grief, but, you know, he's been out with that Achilles injury for months and months, just kind of getting himself back, and then bang, he's out again. And I don't care what no one says. You know, when you reflect back on it, those two injuries had an effect on the game. The Koscielny one, we were at 2-1 at that time. And then, you know, he gets that injury, and you saw the way that, you know, Pogba just walls through our midfield and then was straight into our defence. So we had literally, after that, we had no defence. The Socrates one was big as well. We were losing, what was it, 1-0 at the time, but we were still in there. We were still in there with a shout. Socrates, as everybody knows this season, is our best centre-half. He was playing pretty well at the time. He's that kind of leader at the back. And once he went off, he tried gamely to try and come back on again, and then had to go off again. You could see there was a little bit of a dip. You know what I mean? There's a bit of a break and a bit of a dip in Arsenal's performance. And, you know, it's a really bad situation. We need reinforcements. Look at the injury situation at the moment. If I'm just going through it here, Bellerin out for the season. Out for the whole season. There are people talking about Tottenham's injuries the other day. Oh, Ali's out for a couple of weeks and Kane's coming back in March. These guys, Bellerin, he's out. Season ending, out. Rob Holding, who earlier on in the season, when we was on that 22 unbeaten run, it was Rob Holding and also Socrates who were in there doing a fantastic job. Rob Holding, and that was against Man United as well, out for the season. Out. Season ending. Danny Welbeck, who started the season playing really, really well, really good cover, was even starting games, coming on really effective, out for the season. 3 big misses there for the season-ending injuries. You add to that Mkhitaryan, who broke his metatarsal. We haven't seen him now for a long time. He's still not back. Then you've got, going through my list now, you've got Koscielny now, Socrates, we don't know if he'll be back in time for the game against Cardiff. Mavropanos, who's just coming back, you know, who's been out for the season as well, is just starting to come back, played the other day in the under-23s. It's a really, really bad situation, particularly in defence. We are just down to our bare bones. Having to play guys like Maitland-Niles at right back, he's clearly not a right back. He's not comfortable in that position. When he comes up against the really top teams, he's in trouble. It's makeshift. I'm not going to blame the kid. It's makeshift, right? Over on the left-hand side, listen, Monreal's been missing for ages. He's basically a proper left back. Kolasinac was great going forward, but he's been weak there. And as I said, it's just been that defensive position that's really been a problem. Now, what are we doing about it? Are we going out there now and getting reinforcements this January transfer window? Rumours resurfacing again today about Gary Cahill, of Chelsea, a guy who's hardly played for them this season. I don't know, he might get a game in the FA Cup against Sheffield Wednesday. Still being linked with a move to Arsenal and he's been linked with Fulham as well. Is he the answer? But we're being told that that's it. We can only afford loan signings. This is the devastating thing as an Arsenal fan. As I said, big game yesterday, huge game. Everybody up for it. Everybody looking at that game. But when you look at the difference in squads, the fact that they've got, Bailly and people like that in reserve as centre halves, and we're scraping around talking about bringing in Gary Cahill on a loan. These are the things that really annoy you. But Cahill, again, linked today, I don't think too many Arsenal fans would be very enthused about that. They're looking at it and think, well, listen, if you can't get nowhere near Chelsea's team and their defence ain't exactly the best in the world, what the hell are we doing trying to get him? But Gary Cahill back on the agenda apparently today. Asa Mandy has been linked. Now, I spoke about this one a few days ago. He plays for Real Betis over there in Spain, 27 years of age, a centre-back. Unai Emery said to know him from his time over there in Spain. He's got a £26 million buyout clause. The thought is it's for the summer really, but maybe a lot of people suggesting because of the injury crisis, maybe Arsenal might try and make a move for him now. Again, how are they going to do that? Because we've not got £27 million to spend until the summer because of this, the financial fair play. We're not going to be able to get this guy. We could do with getting him now. We can clearly see that. Unai Emery said already that we need defenders, but we've got no money. And I like the fact that Unai Emery came out and said that. He didn't do what Arsene Wenger's done over the years. Arsene Wenger was what you call a company man. And fair play to Arsene Wenger. He took it a lot of times. He took it for the rest of the club, for the board. He took it for Gazidis. I heard that when Arsene Wenger was leaving the club, him and Gazidis weren't even talking, right? So I don't know if maybe Wenger looked on it and said, how many times over the years I've taken it on the chin for you lot and you getting rid of me. Maybe it was something like that. But he took it on the chin for them. But you know what? Unai Emery came out and said, no. Telling everybody, all we got is money for loans, that's it. Got no more money to buy players. I'm literally being forced to get rid of Ramsey to free up wages. And also this situation with Ozil, I don't like how he's been playing. I'm going to leave. He's left it so everyone can clearly see what's going on. He's not being given the funds we could do with this guy coming in right now. Could it be Mehdi Benatia? Available, apparently, Juventus would be up for a loan, although Juventus want money for Mehdi Benatia. He's a very experienced centre-back in a similar sort of mould to a Socrates. I think he'd be an improvement on what we've got at the moment. But again, he's 31. Arsenal probably not looking to lay out a long-term investment on a player of that age. Fulham are also interested. Fulham are interested in every centre-back because they're worse at the back than we are. A loan could be a possibility for Mehdi Benatia. Now, to me, if a loan is a possibility for Mehdi Benatia, we should be going out there and getting this one done because we need centre-backs. We need centre-backs. So the window's going to be closing soon. Next week, Thursday at 11 o'clock, the transfer window will be shut. That is it. Won't be able to do any business. If we are to have any hope at all of getting into the top four, we've got to get a couple of players in. Christopher Kunu, again linked today from PSG, the midfielder. He's 21. The rumours are that Arsenal want to sign him on loan. this is a possibility. PSG apparently trying to bring in a cover for Kunu. They're looking at Leonardo Paredes, the excellent Argentinian. They've also been trying to get Idrissa Gueye from Everton. And some people saying that they'll let, once they've secured one of those two, and Paredes is looking like a real possibility for them, they'll let Kunu go. But again, we're going to have to see how that one develops out. But Kunu, that could be a player that might come in again. Versatile, can play across the midfield. I think we need defenders more than midfielders right now, if I'm being honest. We've still got Ramsey here, haven't we? We've got until the end of the season. But it looks like maybe Arsenal might try and get him in. And then, of course, there's still Denis Suarez. That rumour's still out there. We all know about I don't even have to go about all the problems that have been in getting this one done. But those rumours still persist that we are looking to bring in Denis Suarez. Whoever we bring in, though, we need somebody in. The team needs refreshing. You can see that. It's really been a really tough 6 weeks, you could say, for Unai Emery, with injuries and with a dip in form. We've got to get back on track. The only blessing in disguise in being out of the FA Cup to me is that we can just look on it now and focus on the two things that are of the most importance this season, right? Let's be honest, if we was to go on and have won the FA Cup at the end of the season and that was it, a lot of Arsenal fans would still be moaning and saying, listen, we've won the FA Cup before. What we need to do is get back into that top four, get back into Champions League football. And they're right. That's what we need right now. In my opinion, that's the priority. That is the way in which this manager is going to be able to get funds to be able to rebuild this team in his own image, right? And so now we can concentrate on trying to get into the top four in the league, concentrate on trying to win that Europa League. I think those two have to be the priorities. But I don't think we can do it unless we get in reinforcements in this January transfer window. It's important. The owner needs to now get involved, try and help out, just like what he's done with the LA Rams here at Arsenal, and trying to help his manager to get and push this team now, from now till the end of the season, to get into the top four. Listen, thanks for watching the show today. Don't forget, thank you to everybody who sent me messages, who watched the show last night on Channel 4, the Real Football Fan Show. You can catch up with it on all four. That's Channel 4's catch-up service. You can catch up with the Real Football Fan Show with that. We had Ian Wright in the studio, Tamer Hassan. It was a great show, and it was an FA Cup special, so make sure you check that out. It's going to be a long weekend as an Arsenal fan, right? With all these Man United fans in your ears. But listen, we move on. We've got a game on Tuesday, a chance to bounce back.